Okay, in this video we're going to describe and show you how you train this gap sensor. And what this sensor does is it actually detects, if you will, the gaps between labels. And obviously there is a difference in the thickness of the paper when the label is on there and when there is no label. And so this sensor actually is what they call a fork sensor. It is a through beam, which means there's a beam of light shining through. So there's a send unit and then there's a receive unit. Now, what would happen if the gap sensor is not trained properly is that you would either have the label stopping in all kinds of strange spots, and or it would not be stopping at all. And so when the machine begins to fire a label, you have multiple labels traveling through before it stops. So in order to train the gap sensor, first we want to move the label along until the gap is in the fork. Now you'll notice on the front of this fork there is a crosshair. You've got this little crosshair and you've got this vertical line. That vertical line is where the label is actually being detected. Now, once I have that in the gap, this top button right here, top meaning this is upside down, the one that's closest to the lights, is the normal button, and we press and hold it for 1 second. Now you'll see, you saw the lights flash and then you saw it come back steady. In the right operation of this sensor, the red light is on when it's in the gap and it is off when it is on a label. And so one way to check if I've got it set up properly is to just advance the label through by turning the take-up reel. And I want to see, does that red light come on anywhere in the label? No, there's the gap. Now, sometimes you will see on this sensor that the red light is actually on when it's on the label and off when it goes into the gap. And the machine will act in an unusual fashion. See how it went off there in the gap. And this is a setting for the label gap sensor, which is the polarity. And in order to correct that, you want to press and hold both buttons for a second. Now the red light is off, and as we move it along and we get to the gap, we see the light flash, and that is the correct setting for the sensor.